Beautiful people, you still streaming live on www.saumahdradio.co.za. Just right about now, we played your beautiful lady, Tamia, So Into You. And just right about now, as we promised you, that we'll be interviewing, a phenomenal guy. So as you're tuned in right now, just know that today we are shining the spotlight on a game-changing force in the world of education. It is literally Edify. Driven by the passion to make learning accessible for all, Edify is more than just an education platform. It's a movement that believes every learner, no matter their background, deserves the tools, support, and of course opportunities to grow, thrive, and succeed. With a passion to break down barriers and build up futures, Edify is led by a team of passionate change makers who embody the values of innovation, collaboration, and lifelong learning. From digital classrooms to real world impact, they are redefining what it means to learn and lead. So whether you're a student, educator, or someone who simply believes in the power of knowledge, stay tuned with us as we dive into the inspiring stories, bold ideas, and the future Edify is helping to shape one learner at the time. Please do welcome Wynand.
Wynand.
Yes, I'm thinking of wine, but it's okay. How are you?
No, I'm very good. And yourself?
I'm good. And how was your day so far?
No, brilliant. Very good.
I'm glad, hey? Beautiful. And of course, just right about now, can you please walk us through Edify, how it started and where is it going?
Okay, so we started about 9 years ago in a small 3-bedroom house in Upper Houghton with probably about 20 kids that we see for, back then, only for mathematics in the afternoons to improve their sort of knowledge and to improve their school marks and so on. And since then, over the last 9 years, Edify has grown in leaps and bounds, where we have over 70 teachers working in our team now, and we see hundreds and hundreds of kids across Johannesburg, Cape Town, Pretoria, for a lot of different subjects. So maths, physical sciences, English, Afrikaans, accounting, and so on. So we've always had a passion at Edify to make a difference and to make an impact in every kid's life that walks through Edify's doors. And at Edify, I always say to my team, our job is so much more than just academics. We would love to impact the way young children look at the world and the way they go on to their careers and the way they impact people around them, because I still believe teaching is such a powerful weapon that we can use in the future of South Africa if we have teachers that use it in the right way.
True that. I love it.
Yes, and also with you speaking about how you want to make an impact to the children, could you please let me know what personal experience has shaped your experience or your view of growth and learning?
I think for me, the biggest impact has been once we've gone into this business, more than an impact that I've had as a child, and to see how, I almost want to say that how a kid's mind is almost like a sponge, and with positivity and just them believing and getting the confidence that they need, how you can make major changes, not only to their academical life, but the way they see the world and the way they, I almost want to say, approach their social environment and approach their parents and just their whole life. Once they walk out of a classroom with a smile on their face, life is just better for them. And with knowledge, I truly believe that comes confidence, and once someone believes that they can do something, I think every young kid will be surprised what their potential is and how far they can really go. And that's really been the impact for me to see from a teaching perspective at Edify, is how easily we can achieve these things and how easily you can turn a kid's life around from someone that's getting 40s or 50s in mathematics and really doesn't have a chance of getting into university. And with a few positive words, you create an environment where all of a sudden they're getting 70s and 80s for their school marks, and they've got the whole world open to them. And that's really inspired me.
I'm loving that. Hey, we're learning. Let's go into an ad break. We'll be
Welcome to Fun with Soap. Discover hundreds of free recipes on our website for making cosmetics, candles, and soap. Whether you want to start your own business or simply craft your own products at home, we've got everything you need. We stock over 2,000 products and ingredients, plus ready-made kits to help you create the perfect products, hassle-free. Join the fun of building your own brand today. Visit us online at www.funwithsoap.co.za or shop in store. Want to get started now? WhatsApp us at 084 561 4980. Fun with Soap, where your creative journey begins.
And we are back and ready with Mr. Okay, Wynand. Wynand. I don't know. It's like Wynand is in my head. That's why I'm like, honey. Yes, that's why. Thank you for that. What values do you think are essential for creating a positive learning environment, and how do you make sure that you embody this values yourself?
I think that the two things that stand out, and what I always say to my team at Edify, is the number one thing we've got to have is respect.
Yes.
For everyone around us, for the kids we teach, and you'll be surprised, like we never have disciplinary problems at Edify. Never. Purely because we walk into a classroom and we immediately respect the kids, and in turn they will respect you. That is my number one non-negotiable attribute. And then my second attribute that I truly believe is a massive add-on to any education environment is positivity. Once we walk into a classroom with a jump in our step and a smile on our faces and positivity all around, the kids, they just love that environment, and they feed off that energy, and they excel from that. So those are the two attributes that I think any teacher that walks into a classroom environment, those are non-negotiables. If you want to have a real big impact on the kids that you teach.
Amen to that.
Also, what challenges do you think the education system is facing, and how can Edify help to address some of those challenges?
Oh, that's a difficult question. But if I need to pick something that I would like to see happen in South Africa, we work with a lot of young teachers coming out of university, and in saying that, I must on the radio give a big kudos out to the University of Johannesburg, who the people that come through their teaching program have very, very good knowledge of the content that they're supposed to be teaching. But what happens in a lot of instances is someone walks out of university as a teacher and then just gets left in a classroom environment to teach kids. And there's still a lot of learning that needs to go on how to teach a certain part of the curriculum. So at Edify, we focus a lot on teacher training. So even if you can get 100% for every matric paper that you write, there's still a certain way to explain something to a child that might not understand it as well. And that's where we put a lot of focus. And what I would like to see happening in the education environment across the country is that we don't leave teachers to their own devices when they walk out of university, and that we guide them, and I almost want to say mentor them to say, look at fractions, for instance, in this way. This is how a kid might understand it. Or if they don't, let's re-explain it in this way. And I think there's not enough training happening for teachers across South Africa from this aspect. So if I could change one thing from an education perspective, if we look at South Africa as a whole, that would be the first change I would like to make.
That is a really good idea, because a lot of kids, it's either you are creative or you're part of the corporate world. The corporate ones, they always understand easily, but when it comes to creative, you have to find an innovative way to actually, to learn and, approach
Yeah.
certain subjects.
Exactly.
And of course, can you please share the innovative idea you have for improving education, and how do you think Edify can help it to make it a quality?
So at Edify, we've got very, very good teachers working with us that are very, very well trained. And I must say, the success of Edify is the team that I work with. Without them, there is no Edify. And if we look at innovation, knowledge is so accessible
True.
right now. It's never been more accessible in the history of time. So to me, there is no reason why a kid should be in a school environment anywhere in South Africa for that matter and not have access to the best education and the best knowledge. It breaks my heart to hear stories where people are sitting in schools, but there's no one that can teach grade 11 or 12
Oh, yes.
trigonometry.
True.
For instance, how are those kids supposed to get through matric? And with the technology and the accessibility to information that we have right now in the world, there's actually no excuse for that. We should be able to get good teaching to these kids in an online environment, which is already going to be much better for them. And that's where I think organizations like Edify can make a big difference to make good teachers accessible to those that are maybe less fortunate.
True. I love that, hey?
Yes. Also, speaking about that, how do you approach leadership, and what qualities do you think are more effective for leadership in education?
Leadership for me is something that you've got to live. People, if you're in a leadership position, people look at every single thing that you do.
Oh, true.
So you've got to be consistent. You've got to be respectful, and then you've got to motivate people to say we are going in this direction. And then, last of all, what I think a lot of leaders don't realize, you've got to be able to say sorry.
True.
It is as leaders, we're not always going to be right, but we make the best decisions at that moment for the information that we have and the opinion that we have. 8 out of 10 times we hope we are right, but those 2 times
True.
we need to apologize, and that's always something we've never been scared of. So we are going to be
That's
wrong,
beautiful.
and we've got to, and I think that as a leader just makes you a lot more human for people working with you in your team. To say this guy or lady can also be wrong, and it is going to happen, and
True.
we need to look at that. But if you lead by example and you are consistent in dealing with people in a respectful way, I think anyone can be a good leader.
True. I love that. Hey, we're learning, because some leaders, they just want to be, delegate everything and just tell you and be yes. There's no when it comes to them. So hey, that is literally learning. It's like a parent way of explaining.
Exactly.
Because when you're a parent, when you're wrong, you have to acknowledge
exactly.
that you're wrong. Yeah. I like that. Can you also please share a recent learning experience or accomplishment that you are particularly proud of, and how it has impacted your work?
What I'm most proud of is if I think back to where Edify started 9 years ago, and I go to all of our campuses now. So we've got 5 campuses across Johannesburg in Bedfordview, Bryanston, Houghton, Fourways and Northcliffe. We've got 1 in Pretoria and Hazelwood, and then we've got 2 down in Cape Town in Claremont and Paarl.
You have grown.
And wherever I walk into these campuses, that's the accomplishment that I'm most proud of, to see these young, passionate teachers absolutely mastering their craft, and kids sitting in a classroom paying attention and absolutely loving academics. I know that sounds a far fetch, I almost want to say, but you won't believe how the kids love coming to Edify. And that's the accomplishment that I'm most proud of, is to walk through those campuses on a daily basis and see this playing out in front of me, to see these hundreds and hundreds of kids coming to Edify, and each of them receiving a excellent education, and so much more from the teachers that almost become their mentors in life, to say you should look at life in this way and be positive and go and be the difference in South Africa. And that's the thing that I'm most proud of from what we've created at Edify.
I love that. On that note, there's an advert, then we'll be back.
Ready to unleash your creativity? Welcome to Fun with Soap. Discover hundreds of free recipes on our website for making cosmetics, candles, and soap. Whether you want to start your own business or simply craft your own products at home, we've got everything you need. We stock over 2,000 products and ingredients, plus ready-made kits to help you create the perfect products, hassle-free. Join the fun of building your own brand today. Visit us online at www.funwithsoap.co.za or shop in store. Want to get started now? WhatsApp us at 084 561 4980. Fun with Soap, where your creative journey begins.
And here we are learning every time. And I'm loving the fact that you guys, have literally grown from just a house and a 3-bedroom to now like in almost every province. We're wishing you nothing but the best with that. Yamki?
Yes, we're wishing you nothing but amazingness. Also, to everyone who's listening and wants to buy in on the dream, wants to be a part of the dream, where can we find you in terms of contact details, social media, and how can we...
Yes, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, or you can go onto our website at www.edifymaths.com, and there you will find all the information you need from all our campuses, pricing, lessons, as well as contact numbers where you can contact our admin officers for any question that you might have. You're more than welcome to give us a call there as well.
Oh, lovely. I love that. And any last words you'd like to share before we close it?
I hope that over the next 20 years that we see teachers being recognized
amen.
For what they are doing in South Africa, and being given the I almost want to say accessibility to the funding they need, because they, like our late Nelson Mandela said, President Mandela, there is only one change or one thing that can change our country forever, and that's education.
True.
We need a good education system where kids have accessibility to quality education, and where they can go through to be ready for university and the world beyond, to make a difference, and to change our country for the better. So that is my dream and my hope for the future of South African education, is that every kid can walk out of their schooling environment and have a chance to exceed in life.
I love that. Hey, we're learning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
May you enjoy the rest of your day, and wishing you
much.
nothing but the best when it comes to, Edify, and also, reaching out throughout every province and also the whole world. That's a beautiful initiative. Beautiful. And thank you so much for tuning in right now. We're going to be playing you some beautiful music. Then we'll be back with some more. This is Zama Jobe and Dawiyami. Enjoy.